Hello, everybody. Welcome to TopFCTV. We are live with another magnificent panel. We got Brother Steve, Brother George. For the first, well, no, Steve's been on before, but George is the first time, man, Spurs fan. Happy to have him. I've been seeing him cooking everywhere else, and I'm like, I need to have this dude, man. You know, he's a busy guy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to have him on, so I appreciate you, brother, coming on. And of course, Steve over here, you know, he's just chilling. He's a hippie. Steve is a hippie. He's just out there relaxing.
Yeah,
Hopefully we will have Jerry from the Jerry Show, Liverpool fan, of course, great guy. So hopefully we'll have him come later on and we can talk, and maybe we can add somebody else because we're going to preview this weekend. It's a big, massive weekend. George doesn't want to talk about Spurs City, but we got to, brother. We got to break that down and see what's going to happen. But before we start with the weekend, of course, we got United, Newcastle. We got you know, not Arsenal's got against Wolves is not, you know, it's never easy.
They've been playing good.
But yeah, 100%.
Wolves at home are very good.
I thought
no, but I think they're gonna be away. I think they're gonna be at the Emirates. And you got Chelsea-Brighton, of course, but Chelsea's not performing well. So we'll see Brighton, a team that's right now top 7, top 8 right now at this moment. Fighting right there for European football, at least the Europa League. So talking about Europa League, man, let's give Liverpool their 50 minutes of fame. Talk a little bit of their victory today over what was it called? Last
Linz.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, I would have never thought Liverpool was going to be playing against teams like this. I know, Steve, you're gonna get on me because I know you watch every single
I'll get on your case.
match in history. But what are the thoughts, man? What, you know what I'm saying? I'm waiting on Jerry to come on. But meanwhile, what are your thoughts on this Liverpool win? Does it mean anything? Can they actually win the Europa League, which is actually should be the goal?
I'd go to say Liverpool the favourites, 100% the favourites for the Europa League for me. I think they're just the most seasoned team in there. If you look at their squad, you look at a team full like with a good mix of young players, veterans, and players that have won things, players that have been there for the Premier League win, the Champions League win, the FA Cup win, the Carling. Like these are players you expect whenever they go out to play for in a cup match, especially they're going out to win, and they're going out to win that cup. So, I mean, pretty much routine business for them to stroll through this group the way they did. I mean, the only big surprise was when they took a loss, I think against Toulouse a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
and it was a weird game. Like I watched it and I was like, wow, like Liverpool actually losing this one.
It's a good game to watch. Good game to watch.
Yeah, no, definitely. But it's one of those ones you just say Liverpool always going to brush that off, and they're going to come back, and that's exactly what it's been this week. As you see, just they steamrolled Lashley and it's 4-0, and now they get a nice. Is that? I think no, they got one more game after this, but they're pretty much qualified, right?
Yeah, they're on the standings or what?
12 points. Yeah. I mean, 12 points.
12 points is free.
That's it.
I mean, they could play the young boys out in the next, and then they don't have to play the first round of the Europa League as well for the group. So they're good.
I mean, you're talking about teams like West Ham. I don't know if let me look at the group right there. West Ham is second, so they're 12 points. Yeah, they're going to qualify. So I'm just looking at kind of a tougher, you know, teams that they could face. But I mean, West Ham, I don't think is going to be a problem.
No, West Ham are a good cup team. Look, remember they won the Conference League last year. Then the year before that, they're in the Europa League semifinals, lost to Eintracht Frankfurt. So for me, as a cup team, that's what they are, and I think they're comfortable with that too. I think Moyes is like, in the Premier League, just get in that top 8, 9, maybe get, you know, do well in the FA Cup in Europe, but they're establishing an identity as a European team. They got a good squad. Like they could take down some big teams, and you know, that's what we as Newcastle fans want, bro, Chris. That's what we want.
We want the Europa League. Man.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, no, Chris. You can't act like a Man United fan or a Liverpool fan with trophies and
Chelsea.
You can't.
Look at this guy.
He's no Champions League football got Chris feeling nice. He's
but I'm just saying, if you are but if given the performances that we've seen from Newcastle, you don't think we should be qualifying? And the
Well,
score,
but-
we were robbed,
Yeah,
man. I don't want to get into
but
that.
that happens, bro. BS happens sometimes. It's not the first time, won't be the last time. We've benefited from bad decisions, and sometimes bad decisions go against us. Sometimes that's sport.
Arsenal fans will tell you about that.
Exactly. And you know what I tell Arsenal fans? Yeah, we got away with it. But guess what? Y'all were terrible against us.
My man George talking like a big champion over here. And we, you know what I'm saying? Come on now. We're probably on the same level at this point.
At this point, 100%.
But actually, I will say though, I gotta give Spurs respect because this season
100%.
is actually pretty good.
Y'all are fun to watch for the first time in 5 years.
Yeah, no, it's been a while.
But it's kind of sort of like Newcastle. Spurs has been a contrast quickly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And especially this season, of course. So that's why, I mean, right now, where's Spurs standing in the standings right now? 5th. Still, I think that's what the Spurs' objective is going to be, right? Right, George, like European football, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Champions League football, 100%. But
Champions.
just to take it back 1 second to the Europa League, there was another team that you guys did right off. I think the big challengers for Liverpool in the Europa League is Leverkusen. They're the other.
Yes.
They're the only unbeaten team in Europe at the moment.
Oh yeah,
absolutely
they're
flying.
Yeah.
Xabi Alonso, obviously, I'd love to see that game personally. Xabi Alonso up against Klopp, Liverpool, the old and the new. That's the game that I'm hoping to see eventually, sort of quarterfinals, semifinals, one of those big draws. But
yeah,
I'd say they are one team to watch out for in the Europa League.
But you know, more than likely, that's probably going to be Liverpool's manager at some point.
That's another reason why I want to see it, man. I think if for me, I think it's perfect. The story writes itself. If Klopp goes to Real Madrid, Xabi Alonso takes his job at Liverpool, you can't get no better than that. I mean,
seamless transition.
Yeah.
That'd be dope. Yeah.
Obviously not for us as rivals.
Yeah, that'd be dope for that.
Yeah, no question.
Just for the story, the sentiment, and so on.
Yeah.
So I guess I mean, look, Liverpool won. They're the candidates to win this one. So I mean, we can't spend 30 minutes on Liverpool because it's really no debate. I think everybody here is going to agree that they're the ones looking to win it. Of course, anything can happen in football.
I don't think they will, though. I don't think they will win Europa League. I will say that.
So who's going to win it?
No.
Who's going to win it?
If Sevilla drop in it, then I'm picking them.
Well, yeah. It's kind of Sevilla's kind of like Real Madrid.
I did it last year, and people were like, "What are you talking about?" And I was
but Sevilla hasn't been good, bro. They're fighting relegation.
Yeah, but Sevilla weren't good last year, and they're fighting relegation. Nothing has changed except a few people in their squad. So they again, just like with that's like West, when I was talking about West Ham and their identity as a cup team, Sevilla, they're like, yo, Europa League, that's ours. That's ours. So
yeah.
Man,
I even just went to go look to see what teams in the Champions League could drop out and be a challenge. But when I do look,
bro, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna go ahead.
If you want to throw yourself in there, feel free to, man. Throw yourself in the fire. But at least you're telling yourself you're getting knocked out.
No, I'm more bothered by the fact that he said, "Nah, I don't want that." That's what I'm more bothered by. If you told me we won the Europa League this year, who cares where we finish in the league? Who cares? Literally,
100. No, that would be amazing. Well, that would mean Champions League. I mean, that would be
and a trophy. Like
that would be.
That's what I'm saying with this top 4 nonsense. Like, who cares if we drop into the Europa League? So what? So what if we drop in the Europa League?
Am I correct in saying that a draw gets you guys through because you already beat them? AC Milan, right?
So I saw a tweet from my buddy at Newcastle-ManUtd, Lee, and he said that, and I looked it up too. If it's a score draw, Milan have the tiebreaker over us because of our result versus them, which is a 0-0. So they get the tiebreaker on away goals.
Right.
So what we need to do against Milan, just win and hope for a Dortmund win or draw in the PSG game, which I think happens, by the way. I don't think PSG win away to Dortmund. Dortmund's home record in Europe is very good. They haven't lost in 4 years in Champions League group stage play at home, so I feel pretty good about that.
I think that if Newcastle goes to the Europa League, they could be not the candidates, but I mean,
Up there.
dude, the way they're playing the freaking
I mean, the
Champions
question
League.
is for you guys: would you put the pressure on your team to go out there and do the job? Would you expect?
Let me answer you this. Most Newcastle fans are like Steve. Whatever happens, happens. We were relegated 5 years ago. It doesn't matter. Whatever is good is good. No, me, I asked my team to perform. If not, if the fans don't poke on the team, they're just going to be chilling.
100%.
You know that's how it goes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No. I didn't say whatever happens. I said whatever happens in terms of whether we end up in the round of 16 or the Europa. Of course, I demand performances every time. And I criticize when it's not there.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah. Please give us a like. Keep liking the video. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. I'm going to link these guys' socials and YouTube channels on the description as well. That way you can find them. George, have you started a YouTube channel yet, bro?
No YouTube for me, man. Do you know what it is? It's a lot of work, man.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. It's pretty much like having another job. And praise to you guys that do it. But for me right now, I'm bouncing around on loads of people's different
When I tell you it's like another job, it is, bro. Like, I'm telling you, it is.
It's all the different elements to it. People that watch, they really don't know like all the work that goes behind the scenes. But it's a lot, man. It's a lot.
It is. 17 people watching. Come on, man. Let's hit the like button. Let's get to, I don't know, 50, 100 people watching. Come on, let's get to it. Now, let's start with this weekend's review. A preview. There's a lot of important matches, two of them in particular, City, Tottenham, Newcastle, Manchester United. But which one do you guys want to start on? I'm going to say Arsenal, whatever. We can leave the best for last. What do you guys want to talk about? Please just don't say just don't say Brentford.
Biggest game of the weekend, man. That's
just don't say. Please just don't say Brentford, Luton Town. But no, we can do Newcastle United. You know, United is in the gutter, bro.
Which one? Which United?
Well,
we're not doing United. Yeah, fuck that. We were called Newcastle. We were called United before them. I don't call them United.
See, I'm falling into your mentality. Of course, all of a sudden, you know, I'm just United is supposed to be Manchester United. But okay, we can talk about both Uniteds, I guess, in this situation.
Yeah,
Manchester United, I don't think they're favorites to win this one at all.
No,
I think Newcastle's got it. We're playing at home, and I think Newcastle. I got it on my thumbnail, and I think it's going to be a 2-0 for Newcastle. I don't know the last time that I felt that way, to be honest with you. Maybe last season a little bit, but what are your thoughts on this game? I mean, the Onana situation, bro. It's just nuts. I mean, I was watching that game. I'm like, bro, this dude. He's got to either be dropped or probably going to be one of the richest guys in the world, because the bag that he must have gotten to let those freaking goals go, bro. Because I'm telling you, bro, it's almost like video game-ish. It's incredible, bro.
Yeah, that's Xbox, bro. That's Xbox Live, FIFA 13 playing online, and some BS happens where your goalkeeper slaps it in or just doesn't move on it. Yeah, that was
like a little glitch,
bro. Yeah, exactly. Nah, and that's a good thing for us, because they're either going to play the Turkish kid, Altay Bayindir. I watched him a few games of Fenerbahce, decent. But at this point, he does the fundamentals correctly. He's a decent shot stopper. And Onana, yesterday he just.
But are we? Ten Hag came out today and he's talking about it's a group thing, whatever.
Which is true.
It is true, but those two goals were literally because of the goalkeeper. And so, do you? Well, let me ask you this though. Actually, watching the game yesterday, do you think? Because I was thinking in my head, I'm like, dude, is this going to be the first time a goalkeeper gets subbed for not performing? Like, did you guys think that was an option? See, because watching what you were watching, man, it was incredible to see. You know what I'm saying?
You know what it is, Ten Hag is going to protect Onana like he's his son, because that pretty much is like that. That's the guy he brought in. He brought him in from Ajax. Like, he's known him for a very long time. So probably knowing that he's like from a young player, he's gonna try to protect him at all costs and push anything off him. Like you said, it's all the players, it's the team, it's this, it's that. But everyone knows. Look, Onana's a good goalkeeper. No one's gonna take that away from him. We've seen him play good, but he was brought in to play the ball out from the back, and we was sold. Like, everyone else was sold on the fact that he's one of the best out of ball play out from the back
Goalkeeper's
goalkeepers
good
in the
possession.
world. He's got one of the best shot stop percentages for Inter Milan last season.
Yeah.
Look what he done in the Champions League, taking them to the fight. Like, we heard all of these stories get built up about him by United fans. Just for him to crush them down himself week on week on week. He's like, you guys said this about me? Shut up. And he's just slamming it back down on them. Like, it is so funny to see. I never thought, like you said, I never thought I'd ever see a goalkeeper sub mid-game, but it was very much, like an opportunity to do that yesterday. And obviously, me personally, I probably wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't want my manager to do that, because that's just, it's one of those things where, you know, especially for the media type things, not even for the player, for the media, they're going to kill him, and he will get dragged for months on that. And as a manager, you can't really do that to your players.
And you know, there's no coming back from that.
Exactly that.
You can't blame him ever again.
As a rival fan, I mean, it's beautiful to see. Like, I'm loving to see Onana make mistake after mistake. But when Man United finally start to look good, you see them go 3-1 up. You're like, oh, they're doing the business today. They've scored 2 good goals. Onana just comes and saves the day, man. You can't complain.
He saves the day, man. That's crazy. But yeah, man, it was bonkers to see that performance go away. And I was actually, it was crazy because I was watching it, and I was also watching other YouTube creators, and they were like, or hate alongs as they call it, and they were like, man, watch United bottle this one. I was like, it's not gonna happen. 3-0.
I knew, bro. I predicted a 4-3 Gala win, and I knew when it was 3-1, I'm like, they're gonna get something from the game, because we know they are predictable failures, Manchester United in the Champions League. I mean, bro, these are the same guys that have lost to Istanbul Başakşehir, RB Leipzig in the past few. Bro, there's no point in them qualifying for the Champions League if they keep on doing this. They just go to the Europa, they get knocked out. Like,
they've dropped down to out of the group stage a few times, haven't they, recently?
Yeah, the last time they did, guess who knocked them out? Sevilla, when they had Mourinho in 20.
But you know, and one of the crazy thing is that the main base for Ten Hag to have a peaceful season that he made sure he destroyed this season was finishing top 4 and making the Champions League. Well, what have they done in the Champions League? Look at this crap.
Well, we all knew they weren't going to do that. The game they played against Wolves in the opening day of the season, from that point on, I was just like, okay, this is not going to work out for them. They're going to have a bumpy season.
But even with that, though, Steve, like, it's just not good enough. Like, let's be honest. If I was a United fan, seeing us finish bottom of the group with Galatasaray, Copenhagen, with
Bayern are always going to finish.
Was it 5 points they have? Like, it's absolutely. It's embarrassing. Like, it's embarrassing for the club, embarrassing for the fans, embarrassing for the players. Like, the position they was in when they got that group, it was like, these guys are going to finish second. Everyone looked at Newcastle's group and laughed and was like, haha, look at your group. You guys are performing 10 times better than they could ever dream of. And if you was in Man United's group, you'd be second. Obviously, I don't know if you'd be top above Bayern, but you'd definitely be second.
We wouldn't be above Bayern.
You'd be second with all points won in the other games. I'd be confident you'd beat Galatasaray and Copenhagen home and away.
I think we would draw the away games, but win the home ones.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now, so when you look at this match specifically, which, by the way, I will be doing the watch along, being a Newcastle fan, and of course the post-match reaction live. What do you? I mean, do you think this is just a clear-cut Newcastle win? Because I mean, this is the first time, that in a match for Newcastle fans that you wouldn't argue that we would lose. You know what I'm saying? That I think of. So, what are your thoughts? On this match,
bro? Nothing is ever given in life, especially football. Right? Yeah. We've seen crazy FA Cup upsets. We've seen freaking Greece winning Euros. We've seen a bunch of crazy crap happening. So, this isn't a given. You're right. We're strong favorites, but that's it. That's it until the whistle blows and the game kicks off.
We just met in the Carabao Cup, and it was humiliating.
Right. Oh yeah, with our C team, with like 5-6 fullbacks in the team.
Yeah, we play with.
I feel confident, of course, but I'm not going to the point of arrogance where it's like this is a done, dusted, shut case. I think I do think we'll win, whether it's convincing or not. I don't know, because Man United can be jammy. Man United can be jammy at times, bro.
At the end of the day,
crazy thing is, I was just going to say this real quick. the goals they've scored recently have been freaking wonder goals. Like the Garnacho one, goddamn.
Both of them.
Both Garnacho goals. The Bruno shot was a freaking cannon. So it's like,
oh yeah,
that could happen against us. We are not prone to. We are not.
No, they have a lot of talented guys. That's 100%.
Yeah, that can just produce that kind of thing out of thin air. That's what I'm worried about. Because if they do that 5 minutes in and they just sit back and just be competent, which they weren't in that Galatasaray game for a lot of it, then that could be a problem. But do I feel good about going into it? Hell yeah. Yeah. I feel confident. But that's what I'm worried about. The whole wonder goal BS that they could just pull out.
That's just crazy that they are, we talk about all this United hell they're going through, but they're 6th, above Newcastle right now. So at the end of the day, if one thing they can do good is get points. So what are your thoughts, George?
Do you know what? Yeah, like Steve said, like the thing is with Man United, although they're not a good team, their best trait is their unpredictableness. Like you generally don't know what Man United's going to turn up, how they're going to play, and if their players are going to play the way Ten Hag wants them to play. So for me, I look at the game and I say you guys are definitely the favorites. I've looked at all like your home record of not even just the past 3-4 months, the past 12 to 18 months has been very solid. You're one of the best home teams in the Premier League, and probably that's where you pick up the majority of your points. Is you take strength in teams coming to your ground and you guys just rolling them over. In this game in particular, because it's Manchester United, because you guys did do them over very recently, I do think that it's going to be a lot tougher than maybe some people think. I think United are probably going to turn up with a chip on their shoulder. They're going to turn up knowing that they need to get a result. But also, well, a question you guys can clear up for me. Do you guys have anyone coming back from injury?
I got no idea.
For this game. Because I know your injury list is just like ours. Like it's crazy.
No. Not anybody that I know of. Most, Go ahead.
Yeah, most of them are not back. Okay, so
I think Botman might be on the bench. I think that's about as good as it can get.
But to be honest with you, I mean, I wouldn't even bother about him
because Lascelles is playing pretty damn
Lascelles is he's a gladiator, bro.
Fabian Schär's been one of the informed center backs for coming up on 2 years. Past 2 years, Fabian Schär's been up there in terms of Premier League center backs.
And that's the thing I keep and one thing. Of course, this is we talk about all clubs, but I am a Newcastle fan, of course. But I want to keep it objective. I think that United can win if they don't play good football, but if they decide to play good football and don't fall into what Chelsea did and what Arsenal did more than Chelsea, but they both did it, which is trying to fall into the play physical with Newcastle. You can't do that. And especially at St. James's Park with any tackle like the Havertz tackle, it's just gonna get the crowd behind Newcastle even more. And it's a battle that you're not going to win, regardless. And if you're trying to be physical with Joe Linton, who is another gladiator, Lascelles, and at the time we had Callum Wilson, who is a really, really strong guy, even though he's not the tallest or whatever, he's not going to play. But also Isak, really tall, physical guy, even though he's a little bit scrawny. But you know what I mean? It's just we're just too physical for most teams. So that's not going to be the right idea for United. And I repeat it because Chelsea did it and Arsenal did it. So that's not a battle that they want to have. So big up a clip or two, for being on the chat. But yeah, man. I guess we can move on to the next match. Well, what are your predictions on that one? What do you guys think is going to be?
I kind of agree with you on the 2-0 thing. Kind of agree with you. I'll go 2-0. However, I do think first
I've got a feeling.
No, go on. Go for it. I think he's like frozen a bit.
Oh my.
Yeah, George got Jerusalem internet.
Sorry, I think if
my
screens are playing up. I don't know. They've just
You good?
You're good, bro.
You might see me. I don't see you guys. All right.
You might want to.
So my prediction. I've got a feeling it's gonna come out a draw. I've got a feeling that United are gonna walk away with something this game. I think maybe if you guys are a bit naive and maybe play with Miley in the middle again.
Oh, you're back.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah. So I think if you guys play with him in the middle again, although he had a very good performance against Chelsea, I think if Manchester United deploy the midfield of McTominay, Amrabat, and then Bruno in front, it could be a bit physical for him. And I know you guys said don't get physical with Newcastle, but for a smaller midfielder and his stature and the way that I think he's a really good technical player, but I don't know if he's ready for a big game and a big boys like Manchester United. But he's not. Like, I'm not going to put it all down to him because Joe Linton and Bruno Guimaraes around him, they help control the midfield. And I do think you guys are probably going to take possession of the game, sort of control the game. Man United will probably pick and choose their chances on the counter. It's just whether they take those chances or not. If Højlund's back, they've got a better chance of doing that. But if Martial's up top, I don't expect to see anything from him. So your centre backs will definitely have a good day.
Yeah. So what is your score on that one? You said
I'm gonna go 1-1.
Okay.
Oh, hell no, man. Yeah.
I could see something stupid like that. I could see it.
Okay, so the next one, well, we can talk. Let's see, but Chelsea, who are they playing? Brighton. I mean, that's not going to be as easy as
it's funny because I watched Brighton play Ike Athenas tonight in the Europa League. They played like Chelsea, bro. They had the majority of the ball of the game. They had shots. Gacinovic was good for them. Same with Steven Zuba. But they couldn't finish the dinner. They could not finish the dinner.
I feel like they've been like that all season, Steve. I don't know if it's just me, but I think Brighton have been poor this season. Like compared to last year, Brighton were like a dead.
I was talking about AEK Athens were the team that they had majority of possession. They kept missing. That's what I was talking about. And then Brighton. Brighton got a penalty, and Joao Pedro scored again in the Europa League. I think Joao Pedro, by the way, god damn, I like him. Nice player for Brighton. So for me, I think I saw Brighton cope with freaking AEK Athens away, which is one of the most hostile environments in Europe. They'll be able to deal with Stamford Bridge. And Chelsea will do what they've been doing the past, few months of the season and since the start of last season, to be honest. Just poor at home, poor at converting chances. And yeah, I see a Brighton win personally, but it'll be a decent game. It'll be a decent game.
Yeah. Well, they're about the same. So
yeah,
to be honest with you, I mean, even though Brighton is on, Chelsea's they lost the last one with us, tied. But the problem with Brighton is they just tie games. I mean, they've just been tying whatever.
They've done this for years, People like me personally, I've never really bought it. Like, as much as I praise Brighton, I've never bought into the Brighton hype that they're going to become a top 6 club. They're just going to start competing with us. Like, they've done this for a long time. They just get a lot of draws. They play really good football, and it's all pretty on the eye, but they're not really effective. They're not a team that's going to put people away. And especially this season, from what I've seen of them, they've been very hit and miss, like Chelsea. There's games where they play spectacular, amazing, and they're putting 3 or 4 goals away, and Evan Ferguson's firing. That's one player that's just on fire no matter what. Evan Ferguson's baller. But then there's other games you watch them and they just look lackluster. They look a bit slow. And like you said, I didn't watch today's game, but to hear they got dominated, I'm not surprised. Like, Brighton last season didn't get dominated by no one. Literally went to Man City and they played them off the park at times. And this season it's starting to happen more and more often. So for me, I've got a feeling Chelsea are going to go get a result. I think Chelsea have been up and down, and I think they're winless in their past 2 games. And they've still got Man United to come up in the week next week. So I've got a feeling that this is the game at home. They're going to want to get, not even want to get rolled. They're going to need a result. And I think they're going to walk away with one. I do think they're going to get the win.
I feel like we've said that about Chelsea for a lot of their games. They need to get a result. They need to, and it's just like you said with Brighton. People keep thinking they're going to do it. 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 And they're going to do it. They're going to do it. Same thing with Chelsea with getting results. They need to get a result. 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 They've won 5 Premier League games their past 25, by the way.
Wow.
5 wins.
I
don't pick Chelsea to win games because it really just don't make sense, to be honest. Like 5 out of 25. Sheffield, let's count. Let's look at teams in the Premier League who have 5 wins already or are coming up towards it. Brentford have 4, Wolves have 4, Palace have 4, Fulham have 4, So that's better than Chelsea's freaking previous 25. They are averaging since the start of last season in the Premier League 1 point per game. That's relegation settings, like legit. So I don't pick them to win games, to be honest. So I'll go for a draw. Actually, I like you said, a lot of draws, and Chelsea fans will be pissed about that, bro. Because you're like you said, they do need to win.
100%
about it. They need to win. They need to win. They do it 1 out of 10 times.
And which, by the way, I want to remind the people that are watching that I will be doing a reaction to every match with different fans for the different matches. I think Chelsea and Liverpool is going to be one stream. I try to do them short, just 30-minute long, if that. But you never know. You never know how to go. But so okay, George, what's your score on that one?
I think Chelsea are going to win. So I'm going to go with Chelsea 2-1. Or do you know what? I'm going to go with Chelsea 2-0. I think they're going to walk away with a clean sheet, It's probably going to be one of their better performances of the season. And I think it's probably going to be more due to the hangover from the Europa League because of Brighton. I've seen Brighton have Europa League hangover a few times this season, and it's not just them, most teams. So I think that's probably going to affect them, and Chelsea are going to walk away with a big result. Well, it's going to be a big result to Chelsea. Probably talk about, we beat Brighton, we beat De Zerbi, we beat one of the best. It's just going to be a shit Brighton team that they're going to beat. That's what they're going to do and get.
So Liverpool-Fulham, that's going to be a Sunday match as well, and so I mean this is probably should be easy, right? I mean Fulham has been struggling. Won the last one, but losing 3 out of the last 5, and tying 1, winning the last one. But I think that obviously Liverpool didn't beat Luton Town, so that's
it's at Anfield though. At Anfield, you always mark it up as a Liverpool win, unless even City, they have a brilliant record against them,
which is crazy because I'm just looking at it right now, and maybe it's not crazy. I'm just noticing, but every big team right now is going to play at home. Well, United is a big team, but they're away, I guess. That never mind, except them, and of course Tottenham. I'm gonna give you some love, George. Don't think I'm picking on you, but for the most part, I don't know. I don't even know why I said it. I don't even know if this is a big deal or not. But regardless, I think this should no discussion, right? I mean, this should be a Liverpool,
man. That's a rollover. 3 or 4 probably.
Yeah, 3 or 4. Yeah, I agree with that. Who else do we got before we get the big one? Arsenal Wolves. That's gonna be a tough one. Even though Wolves are not at home, but I think that. Well, never mind. I think what's his name? Neto's missing.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, who's the Asian guy that's really good too?
Hee-chan.
Yeah,
a Korean kid. Yeah.
Is he going to play, or was he hurt?
Yeah.
Is he good?
He's available as far as I'm aware.
And that he's really dangerous.
Yeah, he's around. I do like him. I just feel like he needs to score a few more goals, but I think it's like the chance conversion rate of his is pretty good. Like he scores.
When Newcastle played him, man, I suffered him and Neto a lot. Yeah. I mean, they just created everything out of nowhere. I don't think those two guys are going to be there much longer, to be honest with you.
The craziest thing, I'm sure Neto's been there for about 3 or 4 seasons now. He's been one of those players that like everyone else has left and he's stayed. Like from when Jota left, I remember he was the one that sort of took over from Jota, picking it up from his side. And it's unfortunate that he had another injury, man, because 7 assists in like the first 10 games. He was flying.
Yeah, 100%. So what is your score on this one? Arsenal Wolves. Arsenal, do they have? Is this a test for them? I mean, if they win, there's no problem. They're still going to be leading. So now they have that chip on their shoulder that it's about.
It's about staying ahead, and we all know Arsenal. That's the one thing they hate, man. Is they hate staying ahead of the pack. They know that the pressure is going to be getting to them, and especially knowing that they play. I mean, it makes it a little bit easier knowing they're playing Saturday. They're the first team to play at 3 o'clock, so they can get the business done and sort of just finish their weekend and watch everyone else play. Watch United, watch Man City, watch Chelsea. All the other teams around them play their games after them, but. This is one of those games Arsenal will just win, man. Like as much as I don't like Arsenal, I can't be unrealistic and just say they're going to lose to Wolves. Like Arsenal being pretty good this season, especially against the smaller sides. They've been getting the business done. Defensively, don't concede too much goals, and Wolves aren't a team that are going to wipe you away with their attack, so they probably won't get too many chances, and Arsenal probably just going to have too much firepower for them, especially after putting 6 past Lens. So
I got this one 2-0 for Arsenal. What are your thoughts on that?
Probably in and around that.
Yeah.
I would agree.
I don't know why.
I'll go for a 4. I'll go 4-0. I'll go 4-0 Arsenal.
Why did I put Liverpool 1-0 Fulham? Why did I do that? I don't think that's going to be that low.
And Fulham could be you never, bro. But here, and like I said earlier about when I was talking about, are we just gonna, is Man United gonna walk in and they're just gonna lose automatic? I was like, nah. Crazy stuff happens in football, so sometimes all these games don't go the way you think they do. So,
all right. Well, let's talk about the big one this weekend, and it's going to be Manchester City with Tottenham Hotspur. George, man, this is going to be one hell of a test. Well, let me ask you this though, because is it a test? I mean, is it? Because right now Tottenham is. Well, of course, you got to add points. That's obviously the basic answer. You have to keep adding points, finishing the European football, etc. But I mean, you're 5th. Right now, European football, maybe a tie wouldn't be as bad. And you know what I'm saying? It's not like you're up there leading and you have that pressure to keep, maintaining that lead. So what are your thoughts, man?
Look at Chris trying to play down our top 4 hosts. We're not there to lead. Nah, do you know what? At the moment, just like you guys and just like everyone else, injuries are killing us. It's not something I really like to talk too much about because it generally isn't just us. It's like 4, 5, 6 other teams in the Premier League that have 7 or 8 injuries. Yeah, no, it's the only thing that it's going to be. I reckon this is something we have to get used to. The new fixture schedule, it's going to be something every season that we will have 6 or 7, maybe 8 players injured at a time. So apart from that fact, we're playing decent football right now, especially from the last game. I was really impressed with the game against Villa. I know we lost and a lot of fans weren't too happy about it, but you have to look at the performance over the results sometimes, especially when you don't have your first team and you're missing 6 or 7 players out. The fact that we performed with the courage, managed to play the way we did and sort of still instill our style of football, I was impressed. The thing is, though, against Manchester City, none of that's happening. Absolutely none of that's going to happen. We're not going to play our style of football. We're just going to be watching the game go past us. And do you know what? For me, this is a game where I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to be probably slowly hiding my, literally sat there like this, watching with one eye, just waiting for them to score. Because if I see Emerson at centre-back with Ben Davies against Haaland,
it's over.
Bro, they're gonna get cooked. They're gonna be steamed and boiled at halftime. It's gonna be a fun game to watch for the rival fans. I think it's gonna be very wide open. A lot of chances to Man City, not too much from us, but
okay. So now, go ahead, finish your point. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go on.
Well, I want to ask you this though, because I've been struggling with this, and some Spurs fans, with this idea that you have to back every single decision that the manager makes. I don't agree with that at all, and I don't agree with the fact that you have to attack and be open to what is the point? Is it losing 4-0, 5-0? Is that going to be better than losing 1-2-0 to City? You think it's the same thing? Because that's the way Postecoglou thinks. It doesn't matter. It's a loser.
At this point, if we was a year or 2 into the project, I would agree and say, yeah, look, you can adjust the game, adjust style, and sort of go for the result and focus on that. But at this point in the project, where he's still setting it in, he's still trying to instill his ideas. Yeah, and he's still trying to make, the players still haven't, let's be honest, they're not fully bought into his way of playing football. They haven't fully believed in it, and they're really not fitting in it themselves properly. Some players still don't look comfortable playing it. Yeah. In this moment in time, I would agree we have to go out there and play this way, regardless whether it's going to make us lose or win, because he's trying to set us up for the next 2 to 3 years. He's trying to make sure that this team's going to play this way. When we're winning, when we're losing against the top team, against the smaller teams, we're going to be able to cut teams open. We see against Liverpool that they're one of the best teams in the Premier League, and we cut them open time after time, just like they cut us open. We're going to be open too, but it's about having that defensive quality that even when you are open, you're going to win those individual battles. You're going to get out and win those 50-50s. At this moment in time, that's not what we're able to do without any centre backs playing, which is, let's be honest, unprecedented, man. We're literally playing with 0 centre backs. We got 4 fullbacks in our back line because Eric Dyer's atrocious. You
don't rate him as well? Damn.
Chris, I promise you now,
Chris, bro.
I'd much rather watch, I don't know, I'd watch two snails race than watch fucking Eric Dyer.
He's dreadful. He's dreadful.
So he's honestly like a Luton defender to me. He doesn't deserve to.
He's not even a champion. He's a relegation.
Championship relegation fodder. But
he put Davis last against Villa. So yeah. Is he gonna play? You're assuming that
Davies is probably gonna play. If I'm honest, if there's any game where Dyer sort of has to play, it might be the City game, simply because Haaland's big. He's going to want to be physical, imposing. He's going to want to throw himself about. And if you've got Emerson Royale trying to mark him and do that, he's just going to push him all over the place. Like, literally, the height difference is going to be crazy. You've got 5'8" against a fucking 6'2" Norwegian Viking. It's gonna go completely wrong. So you might need a player like Dyer in there just to give him a push and shove every now and then. But we're going to lose the game. Look, I'll tell you guys now, we're going to lose. I'm not going to go into this game and try to be unrealistic and say, look, we're going to be able to get
Why are you surprised?
It's just, but look, it's again, with I had the same problem with you, bro, with Steve. I listen, I need my team to win. I'm not just going to sit here and pretend like, okay, it is what it is. Haaland,
Chris,
Julian Alvarez. Bro,
I've been that guy, man. I've been that guy. When I was younger, I used to be the guy. You used to think, yeah, we're gonna win every game. Do you know what? We're 4 losses now. Not even that. We're 4 losses on the bounce. Surely you can't lose a 5th one. That was my thought process.
And then it happens, and you're like,
they're not gonna do it to me. They're not gonna do it to me. They're not gonna make me lose 5 in a row. But you have to be honest. Sometimes you have to sit there. You have to just take a step back. You need to be like, look, Etihad, Manchester City away. And plus, Man City haven't they're not first now. They need to win. They're behind Arsenal.
So I guess I don't necessarily think that you should think that you're going to win every game, but I feel like, and I'm sure the players are not going to think that way, but I feel like the way you're talking about it, it feels like you should just give up. You know what I mean? And
no.
City are a beatable team. You can beat
Chris.
City,
this is very simple. When anyone goes to unless your name is Bayern München, Real Madrid, who else can walk into that he had with chest? But
well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you that.
No, that we are going to perform.
Hey man, come on. Let's talk. The Etihad. I mean, if it's empty or with people, it's about the same thing. So
the thing is, though, Chris, it's not even about the atmosphere. It's just about the players. When they're at home, there's something about it. They've got their home record is one of the best in the world.
Immaculate.
Okay, they tied with Liverpool at home, and they really haven't beat any big team this season. I can't even remember. They lost against Arsenal away. So I guess your point is them playing at home is going to make them on steroids. I understand
because they have a good home record. If they had a crap home record, we'd be like Tottenham have a chance. If they maybe they didn't have Rodri, or maybe.
Well, you even look at the other day, Chris. Look, at home against Leipzig, 2-0 down. There's no worry for them.
They don't even
Manchester
have to,
City.
They
didn't have to get in 3rd or 4th gear.
They didn't even have to win that game. They were qualified before the game started, and they still were like, "Nah, we're going to win 3-2. We don't care." They played starters and stuff. That's what big teams do, bro. They go out to every game, even if we're qualified for the next round. Who cares? I'm playing my.
I just feel a little disappointed because I've been defending Newcastle against everybody else, and I've been defending Spurs a little bit as well. You know, trying to give them their respect.
Look,
and I have George here. You know what I mean? Talking about like they're Luton. Come on,
you got us on the wrong. You know what it is? Yeah, we're playing on the wrong side of the country. If we're playing at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, my brother. City, hey, that's the dungeons. They don't come down here and pick up no points. They know when
Man City fans, bro. I've heard Man City fans say they are confident at every ground in the world except Spurs and what was the other one?
It's in this park, bro. Stop playing.
Spurs and Anfield, yeah. So if they were coming down to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, hey, we're leaving with something. Even with this team, we're leaving with something. But with this team going to the Etihad,
the main thing for you is the defense. You don't trust Emerson Davis or Dyer.
Yeah, no, it's the defense. We don't really have anyone that can match up to their attack. We don't have the height. We don't have the strength. We don't really have the organization either. Like,
you have a goalkeeper that will keep the score.
Hey, Vicario has got to be one. You know what I mean? Top, like the other on Twitter. Listen, I need to stay off Twitter because I argue with everybody. But they were talking about Onana has been the shot stopper this season, whatever stat they were showing before the match. And then I'm like, and then this happens, and you're like, bro, statistics, throw them out the window, bro. Like, stop wasting energy on that. Vicario is like for real. Like he is a good goalkeeper, bro. You know,
bro. So and you know what it is? They got him for 17 million pounds. Actually, it was euros.
He should be. Let me tell you this: he should be the starter for Italy instead of Donnarumma.
Yes, yeah, or Provedel at Lazio has a shot for that. But yeah, I would say Guglielmo Vicario definitely.
And you just got them. You think he is one of the really good findings of this 23?
100%. Like for me, that's like that's one of the players you look at and you say, Ange's talent ID is just spot on. Like he was a player that Ange said, because at first we wanted Arsenal's man, and even me, I was praying, bro. I was like, David Raya, bring him here, like that's the guy. And they was talking about 40 million and all this rubbish, and he was too desperate to leave. Honestly, he was too desperate to leave. And when I heard about Vicario, didn't really know too much about him. But I was like, you know what? This is one of the times, Chris, where I say you have to back your manager and you have to agree with him. Is when your manager brings in a player, you've just got to agree with it. Because we all know football, we all have an idea of whether players are good or not. But how a player fits into a certain manager's system, you will never know until you see it play out. And sometimes you see managers get things out of players that you just don't expect, and you're like, wow,
like Lascelles, like Eddie Howe out of Lascelles. When Botman got injured, I was like, oh God Almighty. Lascelles.
So now let me ask you this though. So what's obviously, I mean, Postecoglou is not going to go to the game thinking like you, George. He's going to try to put something together.
That's what separates us mere mortals from.
So what is the game plan? To try to get a tie or try to get a goal in? What is the game plan?
If I'm going to go there to try and win or even try to get a point or try to get a result, I think the best way to set up would probably be, I wouldn't say defensive, but I'd obviously with our same back four. But instead of deploying a number 6 and then a number 8 and a number 10, I'd probably go number 6, and then a 10 in front. Probably try to get that defensive solidarity a bit more better. So Bissouma's back, put Bissouma in that center CDM, maybe put him next to Højbjerg, maybe Sarr because he's legs. But the only thing, if you put Sarr in there, he's probably going to go off his position a bit more and push up a bit further, but he helps with the pressing. And then put Kulu in the 10, because Kulusevski in the 10 against Aston Villa was class. He picked up the ball and had a lot of space and was really good and really positive. So I'd probably say that's the best way we can start. Maybe, as I said, I don't want to see it, but Eric Dyer is going to have to play this. You need someone big against Haaland. Like, I refuse to watch. Like, I could not watch Emerson and Davies against Haaland. Like, that's going to be boys against men. Like, boys against men. Like, it's generally just going to be too much. So,
do you not care about the injury for Betancourt? Do you think that Bissouma's just? I mean,
nah, man, that was that's a bummer. I was absolutely fuming. Like,
because I was talking to Will, I was talking to Will Stewart. You guys probably heard of him or worked with him.
Yeah, Will Stewart. Yeah, I've done
Will Stewart. He was on his WhatsApp telling me it is what it is. It's okay, no big deal. Bissouma's coming, so no reason to cry about it. I'm like, damn.
Will was a funny guy. Do you know what? Yeah, I do like Will, man. Will has some interesting takes. I don't know if I agree with him on that. Like, I'm a big fan of Bissouma. Great player. He's been really good this season. But Bentancur for me is just mesmerizing. Like, I love everything about his game. I'm in love with players that are just like, I'm old school. Players that are good on the ball. Technically, they got that half turn on them, and just everything about them is just so silky and smooth. Like, I love players that play like that. South American footballers, like especially when they play like that. I love it. I love that type of football. So Bentancur for me one of my favorite players, especially last season in the Conte team, one of the only bright standouts apart from Kane. And he's just so good from the first phase of play to the second to the third phase of play. Like he helps us in all parts of the pitch. So for me, I couldn't really compare his impact to Bissouma's, because I think if we played with both of them, I said at the start of the season, I said when we have Bissouma, Bentancur, Maddison, that's one of the best midfields in the Premier League. Like that midfield trio's never played together. Well, when that does play together, people are going to have to watch out, because that's going to be a dangerous Tottenham. But it's a big miss for us, and I'm hearing this 2.5 months. It's crazy. Like he literally back for his one start, and then all of a sudden he's out 2.5 months again, man. So
and he's a really good player, man. I watch South American football. You know, I'm Peruvian, if you didn't know, and he was playing the Boca Juniors before he went to Juventus. Really, really good player. And of course, Juventus, something just didn't click, but he's still a really, really raw talent. Well, now, now he's gotten up in age.
He's
still
like really young, or something. Well.
Yeah, like 27, 26. Okay. Yeah. So he still got a lot of time. The problem is with him is that it's the fact that he just seemed that he can't stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's the problem with those type of players. I mean, just a lot of talent. But Bissouma should be all right. I mean, for this game, right there. I noticed though that your midfield last game against Aston Villa, Betancourt, obviously he's hurt, not going to play, but he came off. Lo Celso came off. So, you know,
I did forget about him actually. You know, Lo Celso had a very good game. He had a very good game in the last against Villa, sort of off the back of his international. It feels like whenever he goes to Argentina, he sort of finds his love again. He starts feeling good about football, and then he comes back good. But then 2-3 weeks after that, he goes back to the same old self, where he really can't give he couldn't give two shits about playing for Spurs. I don't know if it's just for us, but he seems like he doesn't like to be in Tottenham. He doesn't like the London life. Maybe it's the weather. maybe it's the females. I don't know. He's missing something. But he just doesn't like the life at Tottenham. And the last game I was impressed. He probably does deserve a start against City. His name completely forgot about my head. Went out my head. So he probably does deserve a start. But if we play him, we're gonna have to go Bissouma, him, and someone. It's just going to be a bit tricky to try and squeeze him into the team. But Andrew will probably play him. I know Andrew's sort of the type of man that tries to play plays off the momentum.
So to finish this preview, what is your score on this one, bro? Straight up. Stop messing around, man. Say what your chest.
This guy.
Say what your chest, because you've been talking a lot, but I need you to tell me right now.
I've never actually
Jordan, you know what he's trying to do? Jordan, you know what he's trying to do? He's trying to get a soundbite out of you saying,
you gotta make a clip. We gotta make a clip, man, to the clip channel, man.
That's what he's trying to do.
Nah, do you know what it is? I wish I could do that, but this is probably the first time I've never gone on stream and predicted us to lose bad, ever. But this is probably the first time I'm going to sit here and say we're probably going to lose 3-0, man. I think it might be 3-0. It's going to be a battering. Maybe it's going to be a lesson learned. But it's one of those games that I'm willing to throw away, because after this game, we got Romero back, man. Next week, we got Rolls Royce and Romero back. And we got you guys too. So
you don't want that problem.
It'll be a good game.
You don't want that problem, man.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Very, very good game that'll be. I'm very
excited. All right. Well, what about you, Steve? What are your scores on this one?
I'll give Tottenham a goal, because they will push for it sometime during the game. I'll go with 3-1.
Oh, dude, I had the same score, man. 3-1. 3-1.
I think Tottenham could get a goal. I think Tottenham could get a goal, because Man City haven't been exactly amazing defensively lately.
No. As much as I think they're going to attack, I think they're going to leave space in the space open.
They'll concede one.
Or somebody.
I'd love for them to play the high line like they did against Leipzig. That was crazy. The way was it Luis Openda's first goal, or was it?
Openda. Oh.
And you can't give Son an opportunity, because he's going to finish it.
Exactly like that. If Son spins a defender on the halfway line, he's gone. So I'd love for them to play that high against us. I mean, I hope we don't play that high against them, but yeah.
To finish off, Clipper says, is Newcastle going to finish top 4? Man, it's going to be tough, because Tottenham is alive now, and you got to put them in the conversation. Villa is very well alive. United, they get points at the end of the day. So it's going to be tough. I'm not 100% sure I want to, and I think that Newcastle can do it. But who falls off? I mean, Arsenal, City,
what's your
Liverpool.
expectation then? Just so I know, I'm curious. You as Newcastle fans, and are you just saying
What?
like Europe is like the
Yeah,
minimum expectation?
Europe again needs to be the objective, and there's got to be a title, to me, and it can be
Trophy?
the Carabao Cup. It can be the
Hell
Carabao Cup.
yeah! Oh, I'd bite your hand off for
So,
a Carabao Cup in
but
7.
it has to. We had to celebrate something. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
We waited more than the Spurs. So that
We haven't
wild.
won a domestic
First time I've
trophy.
spoken to a fan that said that.
Haven't won it, bro.
It is what it is.
No, they've been waiting since 2008. Motherfucker, we haven't won a domestic honor since 55.
Yeah. So I won a Carabao Cup. We were close, but then again, you going against a United team that somehow ends up with the results. So I don't know if
the worst thing about that, you beat them like the next week, didn't you?
Exactly. Yes, you're right. You're 100% right, bro. But man, this was a great stream. One of my favorite ones for real. George, man, I appreciate you coming on. I'll definitely try to have you as much as you can, because I know you're a busy guy. But Steve, of course, he's busy as well. So I appreciate everybody coming on. Chloe couldn't be on. She got sick on me, so but it would have been nice. She's definitely going to be for the Chelsea reaction this weekend. So I'm gonna try to get these guys, but they're busy with bigger stuff. So at the end of the day, I appreciate it, everybody coming on, and of course everybody watching. It's been great. So thank you guys for being on, and we'll see you on the next one.
Man. Peace. Big show. Good show.